Blog Talk Radio.
Attention all passengers.
Real side of
Attention all passengers. All Big East Airlines flights have officially been canceled. The entire Louisville area has been declared a no-fly zone.
We got our heels up, we get our fly on, but you don't fly here. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone. I don't know about your code, mine's strong. Welcome to the Ville. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone.
they carnivores, we killing them, they dinosaurs, they extinct us, they dinosaurs. It's a no-fly zone, what you trying for? As soon as we hiking the ball, just put it right in our hands. Cardinals divided, we ball, Johnny United, we stand. Take them back and forth, up, down, 30 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards, touchdown. What now? Shut down. Come to Papa John's and your bird food. Louisville Cardinals, whole team sick, bird flu. Charlie said to hurt you. See, we beat Kentucky, and Mr. Beaumont's about to teach me how to dug it.
Teach me how to dug. Teach me how to dug.
All my Cardinals love me, so why you wanna try here? Flight's been canceled, ain't nothing gonna fly here.
We got our heels up, we get our fly on, but you don't fly here. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone.
Yeah, buddy, we going strong around here.
Mine's strong. Welcome to the Ville. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone. Flight convo, we call it bird talk. Dancing on the D, why me in my bird ball? We got our rails up, we let them haters hate. You get about the victor, shake and bake. Scrub defense, scary and nasty. You will get 8, Darius Ashley. Caught in the bird game, brushing off my feathers. So fly I could high five Chichester. Heard y'all cold, how you gon' lookin'? Get burnt in the oven, I'm cooking. Ghost no fly zone boogie. Coach Stone, tell 'em gon' fly home. We got our heels up, we get our fly on, but you don't fly here. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone. I don't know about your code, mine's strong. Welcome to the Ville. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone. Slugger boy music. Yeah, boy, we still high. I bet you dig the way we kick it, huh? Chris Philpott. You know where my city at?
See it on my fitted cap, home of that slugger back.
So quick that kitty chat.
White and red and white, even in that pretty black.
Rare and be scared as a Lexington kitty cat. Hey man,
What's up?
I'm talking about Dexter.
Has A and B with Brandon Heath?
Yeah, applying pressure.
You can let it fly.
Then you can bet your money.
19 my tears. Whole crowd rockin'.
Crush zone, nosebleed.
Louisville.
Change up.
Mix mag.
Yo, see. We got our heels up, we get our fly on, but you don't fly here. No fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone, no fly zone. I don't know about your code, mine's strong. Welcome to the Ville. No fly zone, 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 no fly zone.
No fly zone. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the real side of wrestling. I'm your host, the main event referee, John Gray. I'm most certain that this new microphone is doing what it is supposed to do, but if it is not, I'm sure my people in the chat room will be more than glad to tell me. My guest tonight, I've looking forward to these interviews for quite some time. All of these people on the show tonight I had the opportunity to meet and work with while at Destination One Wrestling in Albany a few months ago, and I was very impressed by these guys. They offered a lot. My first guest, he was described to me earlier by if you take a guy from the varsity football team and give him a bad attitude, then you get my very first guest, Cassius Cutcher. I think I said his last name right. Cassius, are you with me?
Yeah, you got it, but you know, obviously like the one and only Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, it's Cassius.
Cassius. Okay. Well, I sincerely apologize for mispronouncing your first name. Usually I mispronounce your last name. Let's get right into it. Now, for the benefit of those of my listeners that aren't familiar with you, because most of my listeners are here in Kentucky, tell us a little bit about what got you into professional wrestling in the first place. What year did you actually break in?
Sure. Broke in early 2007.
Okay. So you're still really, really, I guess, green in this industry. You've got a lot of learning still left to do.
Yeah, they say that you're green until you hit your 7th year in the business. So, you know, I'm not going to take that to offense because obviously there's a lot of people in the business that have only been in a couple of years. So, yeah, I guess you could say that I'm definitely still, you know, in my puppy phase per se.
Right. Okay. Oh, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we are having, of course, a small difficulty here. The switchboard just cut off, so we never fails. Give me just 1 second, ladies. I have Cassius back with this, and we're not going to take another break after this going in Cousin Jet, and this is typical. We'll be right back right after this. Son of a bitch. Sometimes I hate this job. Bobby Blade, here you go. But it is over. Sorry, Bobby Blade. We had to definitely get back to Cassius Cutcher, or Cassius Cutcher. Sorry about that. Cassius, are you back with me here? Okay, good. I sincerely apologize about that. Like I said, if it wasn't for Skype, my whole thing would be shut down right now. But we're back. That's all that's important. So you were saying you really you've been told that you're green until your 7th year in the business. So you've still got quite a few years. Oh, where did you actually get your where did you actually get your training at?
Well, my home fed is Next Era Wrestling, which is out of Rochester, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually started with, believe it or not, my first time in a ring was with Simon Dean, by all people.
Oh, wow. What a
Simon Dean back when he was in the Fed, back in his heyday when he was coming out with his power drinks and sports bars and things like that. When he had his big run, he held a seminar on a Sunday afternoon. In the prior evening, NEW ran a show out in Elmira, New York, and he came by and lucky enough to do a seminar, and that was the first day I was ever in a ring.
Oh, wow. So from there, well, what made you actually want to turn out to the seminar? I mean, I'll be honest with you, nobody gets up one day and decides to be a wrestler. So, I mean, what was it for you that kind of made you want to do that?
Well, I mean, obviously, just like pretty much any worker, you grow up watching wrestling. You idolize Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake, so on and so forth, like I'm sure many other guys do as well. And, big fan, always a big fan into Monday Night Raw, this and that. And I had wanted to start into wrestling, a couple years earlier, but I didn't know the people. I didn't have an in the business, and obviously it's getting harder and harder to get in the business, and you got to know somebody, to get into some of these legitimate feds. And I was online, going through some of those spoiler websites, the ones the marks look at and things like that. And luckily, I got something caught my eye, and it said Simon Dean Seminar, Rochester, New York. So the contact info was there for the promoter. Got a hold of him, paid my money, and I showed up that day.
Mm-hmm. So from there, you did the seminar. Where did you actually go? I mean, was that the only thing you did before? Obviously, that couldn't be the only thing you did, because I've seen you in the ring, and I know you've got more experience than just one seminar. So who do you, other than Simon Dean, who else do you credit for your training?
Well, I mean, I've done a lot of seminars. I traveled around with a lot of buddies and things like that. And, I mean, I've done seminars with Ric Flair, seminars with Brody Lee, Colin Delaney, you know him from WWE, Jerry Lynn, Billy Gunn, JP Black, I mean, Spike Dudley. The list goes on. I mean, I try to get in front of as many people that have knowledge with the business and that have been in the Fed or been in one of the couple Feds, obviously that are considered the major league of the industry. So, I mean, you got to do that, especially as a young guy. You got to get as much experience as you can, because, just because one guy does something one way doesn't mean the other guy doing it the other way isn't just as good or better. There's obviously more than one way to do everything, and you got to get in front of many of these guys as you can.
What do you watch wrestling now?
Yeah, it's harder, obviously, though, because being in the business and being a worker. I mean, obviously, you see things that don't make sense. You see things that just
really make you mad.
They make you mad. Is this a family-friendly show here? Or?
Oh no, absolutely. We are not governed by the FCC. I do ask that you watch the GDs, though. We don't kind of like that, but I'm not going to stop you.
No. I mean,
saying what you want.
You see a lot of. No, that's fine. Okay, perfect. Because that's right up my alley. I pretty much do what I want when I want. So, you see a lot of guys that are the shits. I mean, and that term is thrown around a lot in the business. But I mean, it's realistic. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the Fed that, they don't belong there. They know somebody, or they're second-generation superstar, third-generation superstar. I mean, perfect example. I could care less what some of the guys in the back think about him, because I know they were trying to push him. But Husky Harris is the biggest piece of garbage. He's pathetic. I mean, he's gassed in the ring after a 5-minute match. These guys don't belong there, and they get in the business because of their fathers or their grandfathers, broke them in. And quite honestly, a guy like that doesn't belong in there, because he can't even run the ropes, nonetheless carry a 10 to 15-minute match.
Well, you bring up a very interesting point right there, but I would like to add that, a lot of second-generation superstars, or a lot of the second-generation wrestlers, I don't want to call them superstars, but a lot of the second-generation wrestlers were bred for professional wrestling. Randy Orton.
Sure.
And when Randy first started, I'll be the first one to tell you, I was not a big Randy Orton fan. I thought he was the drizzling shits. I just I had seen